Welcome to the scheduling orientation. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to manage scheduling and labor needs using a manufacturing company as an example. You'll learn how to create and adjust repeating and default schedules, fill vacancies, manage schedule changes, and link the Workzoom calendar to external sites like Microsoft and Google Calendars. Part 1, Scheduling Groups. The manufacturing company wants to create schedule groups in Workzoom to organize employees and their direct and indirect managers. This will help keep schedules accurate and up to date. We will first start by creating the production department scheduling group by selecting Define Work Area Details. We will set the group type to Work Area because it's where employees report and not where they work. We'll add our department name and save the record. It is here where you would set the supervisor record in the event that the subdivisions or divisions are overseen by this direct supervisor. If not, you can leave this record blank and move on to creating the divisions for assembly and quality inspection. To create the divisions, assembly, and quality inspection from the work area that's been created, you can simply just select the Can-Do Add Group. You'll then indicate the group type Team, as this is the area where the employees will be working, and we'll set the group name to the respective division. Because this team rolls up to the department Production, we're going to set is a roll-up to Yes, and save the changes. Once the team record has been created, we're then going to assign a supervisor who's going to manage the schedules, any time exceptions, and leave requests submitted by the direct reports that will be in this team. Once we've added the supervisor record, we're then going to go ahead and add the team member records. And now we're ready to go to start creating our schedules. Part 2, Creating Schedules. Now that the manufacturing company has created their scheduling groups and added their supervisor and team member records, they now have to create 2 schedules. The first schedule they need to create is for the assembly division, who needs to have the ability to easily adjust scheduled shifts to match production demands, and a secondary schedule for the quality inspection division, who works from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Here's how to create the first schedule for the assembly division. In the More tile, select Configuration, click Create Scheduling or Vacancy Policy, set the product to Work Scheduling, add the schedule title in the policy area, and save the changes. We will align the schedule with the pay period frequency, using the start date of a past pay period as the base date. The schedule will generate 2 weeks in advance. If you want the schedule to cover the current pay period, set the start date to at least 2 weeks earlier. Since the schedule is bi-weekly, it will cover 14 days. To define the schedule pattern, select the Add button to the far right of the schedule pattern's title. Add the title, Schedule by Group Relationships, and in the Include Person Groups Matching, search and select the scheduling group that should be on this schedule. Then select Shifts are defined with start and end times, exclude supervisors from schedule, schedule is managed by areas, groups, and then teams. Once that's complete, save your changes, enter in the base date of the schedule, and hit the Execute button. You'll then want to enter the current date in this As of date and hit that Execute button one last time. Once the schedule has been created, navigate back to Scheduling, and under the Master Schedules tile title, select the schedule you just created. To have a scheduled shift repeat every 2 weeks ongoing, enter in the start time, select the repeat icon and indicate the frequency in which you'd like this scheduled shift to repeat. Now you'll note January 13th, there's no repeating shift, but January 20th and every 2 weeks thereafter, this scheduled shift will apply. When the chain icon is green, it means the icon is on. With the chain icon on, the following shifts will inherit changes made to the scheduled task. To adjust just one shift, unselect the icon and make your changes. Now that we've successfully created our first schedule, we're going to go to the second scenario, which is the Quality Inspection Division working standard hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. To do that, we're going to create a schedule policy for our Quality Inspection Division by navigating from Scheduling to Configuration and selecting the Create Scheduling or Vacancy Policy can-do. We're going to select Work Scheduling and enter in the title of this schedule in the policy area. If you have a bi-weekly pay period, you can either select the frequency weekly or bi-weekly. The base date is going to be the start date of our pay period. If we want to create the schedule 2 weeks in advance, we're going to enter 14. Because there are 7 days in the schedule, we will enter 7. And now we will create this default schedule by selecting the Add button to the far right of the Schedule Patterns title. Our sequence number is going to be 10. We'll enter the title of our schedule. We're going to schedule by group relationships and select our scheduling group. Shifts are defined with start and end times. They're going to exclude supervisors from the schedule. And the schedule is managed by groups and teams. We're then going to add our defaulted hours by selecting the Add button to the far right of the Daily Hours title. We're going to enter 1 for the first day in the schedule. Because the first day in this schedule is a Monday, we're going to select Workday, and we're going to enter the start and end time of the scheduled shifts. We're then going to repeat this process for days 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will all be work days from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. On the 6th and 7th day, because the 6th day is Saturday and the 7th day is Sunday, and the quality inspection team does not work these days, we're going to select the workday type Off Day Not Paid. Now we've created our default schedule, we're going to enter in the base date of the schedule and the as of date. This can be obtained at the top of the schedule policy. And then we'll execute the policy. We'll then execute the schedule for the current date. To view our default schedule, we'll navigate back to the schedule dashboard and review our master schedule. Congratulations! You now successfully learned how to create and manage schedules in Workzoom as an administrator. Part 3. Filling shift vacancies. The manufacturing company wants to determine who should fill vacant shifts and needs to create a shift vacancy policy. To do this, go to the Scheduling dashboard, Configuration, and Create Scheduling or Vacancy Policy. The product will be Scheduling Vacancies, and the policy area is the title. Here's a quick rundown of how to set up the vacancy policy. If the policy applies to all schedules, leave the field Applies to Work Schedules Matching blank. If there is a specific schedule that this policy applies to, search and select the applicable schedules. To allow employees to bid on a shift, select Yes. To ensure employees have the same job title as the shift, select Worker job must match vacant job and indicate No on Are extensions of this job allowed. If specific job certifications are required to pick up this shift vacancy, select Workers must have job certifications. If distance or seniority affects who qualifies to fill a shift, select Use distance or seniority and choose the relevant option. To grade employees' qualifications for filling a shift, select Use boosts, the appropriate criteria, and click Add next to Qualified Fill Scoring to enter the scoring criteria. And then Display Score. To include additional information for administrators and managers to be educated on who should be qualified to fill the vacant shift, select Display Specific Columns, Work Assignments, and choose the relevant information. If there is a maximum number of hours an employee can work in any given week, select Maximum Number of Scheduled Hours Applies, enter the limit, and save your changes. Once the vacancy policy and qualified fill applicability are saved, the changes will apply to the qualified fill list. To view the qualified fill list, double-click on the shift vacancy. You can review the employees qualified to fill the shift vacancy based on the vacancy policy applicability and assign the appropriate personnel. After an employee is assigned to a shift vacancy, you can identify substitutions by the purple line on the left side of the scheduled shift. Part 4. Sync schedule to Google Calendar. In this scenario, the manufacturing company would like their employees to be able to easily access their scheduled shifts from anywhere at any time. In this step, we will walk through the process of syncing your schedule with your Google Calendar. To link your schedule to your Google Calendar, follow these steps. Go to your Person dashboard and select Calendar. Click on the Subscribe Calendar link. Open your Google Calendar, and on the right-hand side of Other Calendars, select the plus sign. From URL, and paste the Google Calendar link. Add calendar. And ta-da! Your schedule will be synced with your Google Calendar, which is accessible from your phone or mobile device. Part 5. Manager Scheduling Management. In this scenario, managers in the manufacturing company need to review and adjust their direct report schedules as needed. In this example, we'll show you how a manager can view and modify their direct reports' current and upcoming schedules. As soon as a manager logs into Workzoom, they will see their manager dashboard. All of the outstanding action items will be in the To-Dos tile. If a manager does not have any action items outstanding, they will not see the To-Do tile on their dashboard. To adjust a direct report's upcoming schedule for a specific week, navigate to the To-Dos tile and select Set Upcoming Schedule. Add or adjust a shift. Save your changes. To adjust a direct report schedule after you've already completed the Set Upcoming Schedule action item, or in circumstances where an employee's scheduled shift needs to be adjusted ongoing, navigate to Workforce, Scheduling, and add or adjust an existing scheduled shift. In circumstances where you need to adjust an employee's scheduled shift ongoing, please reach out to your administrator so that they can make the changes on your behalf. Congratulations! You've completed the scheduling orientation video. Here's what you've learned. As an administrator, you've learned how to create scheduling groups, set up and maintain repeating and default schedules, and fill shift vacancies. As an employee, you've learned how to sync your schedule to Google Calendar. And as a manager, you've learned how to manage your direct report schedules. Now that you're a scheduling pro in Workzoom, it's time to put your skills to work and build your own schedules.